Hello everyone, welcome to Mask Friend Art Stream. I'm your fine, fantastic, cool lad, Master Friend, here with a better mic this time. The last stream had some really jank audio, but hopefully this stream I've kind of readjusted things. I re-looked up some tutorials on making sure my voice is actually clean without the fan noise, while still having, some better fidelity overall. And I've found a nice way to kind of compress the VLC music feed, so no matter what music is playing right now, it's never louder than my actual voice. Hey Jussie, how's it going? Welcome. Just getting ready to do some image editing and add some scan sketchbooks. I've been doodling some owl studies for my next sprite stuff, kind of just repolished stuff. I'm actually not crazy partial about this specific design, because I feel like this does not scream owl enemy who wants to fight cold. This feels more like an NPC character overall. Not a bad idea though. I mean, these designs are pretty straightforward. I was doing a bunch of owl studies where I looked up various different types of owl species to kind of just figure out some inspiration for designs and all that. And I encountered this idea for a long-eared owl. And I was like, oh, long-eared is like a bunny rabbit owl. It's not really a bunny rabbit owl. The feathers are much smaller. But I guess my brain kind of just went to more like Playboy bunny type things, because I'm I kind of just went that way. And I was like, what if there were like waitresses or something at a bar. So that's basically kind of just how the design overall got conceived. Pretty solid start for some owl designs, though I do want to have some more warrior type characters. But I think the fact that I was able to kind of like work with these designs with kind of birds always overall. I've actually done bird designs before, but they're more, I guess, they have more of the back wing, angel wing type designs over, like, I suppose feather fingers are more like I guess normal birds, so to speak. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's kind of one of those birds are one of the many different I guess anthros that I haven't done so far. It's a bunch of stuff that's been like, okay, it's been a while. But so far so good. I mean, who knows? They could be enemies if I want. If Cole makes enough trouble, some of them will try to throw him out of, like, if he's making trouble at a bar venue or something like that. Yes, it depends on the story I want to write for it, but it is what it is. Alright, and now I'm going to XV separate you. That way I just have a transparent drawing here. And I usually tend to do that with my sketchbooks. So just in case I want to have either a filled background, I don't have to worry about trying to either recrop it. Says I might like make the canvas size more of an even deal, like make it 8 by actual 5.5. So that's proper, I suppose, paper size. No, 8. No, that'd be 8 by 12. So this is half paper size. But it makes things easier for me to kind of just work with. And then I use Photoshop adjustment layers, and not specifically full-on adjustment mask. I used to use image adjustments like straight from this menu, but then I was told that it was a very destructive way to image edit. Like if you end up just doing it through the layers, or if you end up like doing it from like the adjustment menu, you basically end up kind of just baking the change into the thing, instead of, say, you got a layer that you can easily turn off and on, like for this. So say I make this extremely red, make this the most absurdly saturated thing imaginable, and just go absolutely ham about this. One thing that's really nice about not baking it directly into the image is I can actually just turn this off or mask it out. Let me get that mask going here. Come on, mask. Can I not fill the mask? Okay, it's working. You can barely see it, but it's kind of okay. It's kind of working. Basically, you're able to kind of like see this, and then I could readjust you so that you're even darker, and bada boom. Works like this. Mask works, or I can even just get rid of the entire thing entirely. It's, you know, just my original picture without any other edits and stuff like that. So these days I've kind of just been working with adjustment layers instead of that. And I don't know if Clip Studio Paint does adjustment layers. I think they do, but I'd have to look that up, you know, much faster. And of course, it has adjustment layers for basically everything. So what I usually do with at least my pencil artwork is I'll readjust the levels so the line art is at least dark enough so I can see everything. And honestly, for pencils, this is plenty. If I'm doing something with inks, I will actually first use the hue and saturation to get rid of all the reds and all the blues for any of my blue line stuff. That's kind of like a little thing that I tackle too. But overall, yeah, that's a rough idea of how I tackle these things. Plus, I'll make another layer for if I want to do things like do really fast clear out specs that, you know, don't really contribute to the pencil sketch overall. I mean, I don't really completely erase my pencil sketch too much, just in case there's stuff I still want to use with the pencil sketch, or if the lines, or if the line art is still good enough that I judge it better. But yeah, so far it's been pretty nice with this, and that's usually how I edit all my scanned art. I'd probably save more time if I just drew straight on the canvas, but I don't like doing my brainstorming like that, I suppose. You know, whenever I'm using my iPad, I just can never motivate myself to draw. In fact, I was kind of feeling that for most of today, where I was in the library. I want to get some drawing done on this commission, and I just did not want to work on anything. I tried getting started working on a storyboard, and I just did not want to draw. I was kind of like looking and re-looking at my script and realizing there's just so much stuff that needs to be re-edited. And I kind of just fell into a dumb negative spiral of thinking the art is just, or not the art, but the writing was just not good enough. Of course, I'm on my second draft of this, and I'm trying to set up the next draft so it can be in a storyboard proper. So that's kind of been, I suppose, my morning overall. I never mentioned the weather today, actually. It's been rainy all day, so that's been nice. It's been cool most of the week, just tackling, I guess recovering from the really scorching day of yesterday. So, I spelled sketches wrong. Like owl design. Owl design sketches. There we are. Maybe like owl waitress. Yeah, decided they're just gonna be female owls. I think it's probably because most notable owls end up female anyway. I think from what I looked up, most female owls are larger than male owls, like, through sexual dimorphism and things like that. So that's something that, it's vague animal facts I learn whenever I do. And of course, whenever I'm posting online, I usually don't post the absurdly high resolution thing. I'll post something that's wallpaper size, like 920 by 1080. Get rid of transparency because nothing's transparent. And I save this as a web size. I rarely post my high res sketches because it's why bother? It's for online optimization. I usually post those sketches on my websites, and also I use those sketches for basically my own needs. So doing a whole bunch of other owl studies, and I'm actually going to put these together. So let me let's get rid of this. I'll get rid of gobbledygook, so we just have a good clean cut. And a lot of these are just me just making various owl studies. So owls, they're good, straightforward birds. They're typical bird of prey animals, night birds, excellent hunters, the cats of the sky, so to speak. And so the reason I'm drawing a lot of owls is because I'm making some pixel art for these owls. If you've seen my last stream, I'm in the process of blocking out a new flying enemy for my Owlbear Island demo for Blackmask. And essentially, it's one, having a flying enemy, and two, kind of just establishing that there are also owls on this Owlbear Island, because I have a bear enemy, and there's a bunch of statues reminiscent of owl bears, which is basically a lost ancient society of the Blackmask world, who ended up living in the past and creating their own stuff, and creating ancient artifacts, magical and mundane and all that stuff. And it's kind of okay, I have owl bears, but I don't have regular owls. What are regular owls like? So it's kind of okay, we just have regular ass birds too. They do talk too, or at least they're anthropomorphic, but probably not anthropomorphic in the larger sense like the owl bears are. I suppose the way I tackle, I guess, my own world's anthropomorphism is try to be close enough to the actual animal while kind of having some little extra adjustments with that. So, you'll be able to, if you see all my other drawings with just anthros, you'll notice that I just have a specific, I guess, style pattern that I kind of adhere to on a personal level. But it's mostly a personal aesthetic level. It's not a hard and fast rule for me personally. It's literally a what do I want out of what I, to stay consistent with, I suppose, the world building, I suppose. I don't know. I guess the closest way I can really say is maybe, I guess the most recent example would be Zootopia, but with light. I don't know. I haven't seen the Zootopia teaser trailer yet. I'm not as inclined to catch it really, because it's like, it's probably gonna be good. And I usually just don't watch trailers these days because most trailers just suck. So I kind of like, yeah, I'll see it in theaters myself, and I'll be the judge of whether or not it's good. I hear they're finally putting reptiles in it, so I mean that's an interesting direction that they'll tackle. So yeah, I'm curious how that's gonna go, especially with like dinosaurs and shit. But yeah, I remember seeing the first Zootopia, and I was watching it as, well, a personal double feature, like I paid for 2 movie tickets. But I remember I saw Zootopia, and then Batman v Superman. You could probably tell which was the better movie overall, because holy fucking shit. And yeah, Zootopia was pretty great. It's a solid, fantastic movie. And it's kind of weird because it's like, this was also the same year that Kung Fu Panda 3 came out. So when the initial trailers came out, I saw the trailers during other movies. I forget which other movies. I guess they were trying to explain what the fuck anthropomorphism is. And I'm kind of like, isn't Kung Fu Panda out? Like, this is a world where Kung Fu Panda 3 is, and I'm like, you're explaining anthropomorphism in general. I'm kind of like, okay, I guess. So, yeah, that's something with that trailer, but it's like, yeah, whatever. The movie was pretty right. I guess I can't really think about it. Thanks for the file, Zartan. Welcome. Welcome to my fine, I suppose, image editing thing right now. Just editing some sketchbook pages and getting them in a single doc. Oh yeah, about Zootopia. I guess I don't have anything else I want to talk about with Zootopia other than, it's there. So, I think I'm done with you for now. That's cool to see, honestly. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of just adjusting some sketchbook scans in Photoshop. I still have a CS 5.5, so well before its stupid gobbledygook that's been poisoning the software, because it's just nobody knows when to quit. So it is what it is with that. But I still have CS 5.5. I'm never gonna let this go. They'll probably brick this old version, but luckily I managed to find a cracked copy of CS 5.2 as a contingency plan, and I'm pretty sure the software has the same stuff. I might lose a few brushes, but I think you'll be fine. I don't really do most of my art anything in Photoshop these days because I mostly use Clip Studio Paint. Most of my settings are in Clip Studio Paint. All the times I've tried to do drawing in Photoshop, it feels, I guess, surprisingly hard. And maybe it's because I'm more used to Clip Studio Paint being much softer, maybe. But maybe that's probably just it. I just don't prefer Photoshop these days. I also don't like that it's such a giant resource hog right now. I do have a solid state drive, but it still takes a bit to load, and it's kind of annoying. Honestly, I probably could switch to something smaller like Krita or something like that. Because I hear Krita is a nice, good open source alternative. XV. Bada bing, bada boom. I can get rid of this bottom part. And now we can actually do some readjustments here. Put you here, compile it together. That we'll do it vertical. height to 20. And we're kind of just gonna nudge you just down here. Nice and easy. Yeah, Krita's pretty good. It's my only way to, it's only my only way to draw. Yeah, I hear Krita's good. I've dabbled in it a tiny little bit. And I keep Krita, I guess, close. I have like, I guess I wouldn't call it an exe file, but the, I guess the portable file, like the actual, like, I guess, settings file of Krita in a, I guess, a bug out hard drive. So in case I need to either do a clean install on my hard drive or anything like that, I have that. I have Krita just in case. So just in case clip kind of either isn't working or isn't working for what I want to do with my life, I have Krita just ready to roll. And I've been just doing traditional, then doing it on Ibis Paint. Oh yeah, I've heard of Ibis Paint. That's on Photoshop and a bunch of phone stuff. I've heard of that. I've never actually dabbled in Ibis Paint myself. I could assume it's another open source thing. Yeah, I'll probably, yeah, let me readjust you, because this is on bar now, I'm sure. Readjust you from here, and that'll be a little easier. And now we're getting into a puzzle part of, dare I readjust everything just to fit one single owl drawing? Multiply. Because like because originally it was sideways and it fit totally fine, but you can't really read the words. But then again, nobody's gonna be scrutinizing my handwriting too much. I think I just mostly just have this for archival purposes. Maybe I just shouldn't even mess with this in general. I'll at least nudge this up. Well, I can't have to pay for the full version, which sucks, but the free version honestly does what I need it to do. Yeah, sometimes the free variant of software can still do stuff for, what you need. A lot of people probably poo-poo things like Photoshop elements and things like that. But honestly, if you're just drawing and just painting, Photoshop elements is more than enough to do what you need to do. And honestly, there's also same with I guess a lower end version of Clip Studio Paint. Like I have what's it, Pro EX, or which one? It's like the highest end Clip Studio Paint, and it's the one with all the animation features. But if you're just an artist or just making comics, no. The lower end probably doesn't have all the comics features of the EX version. Like, I don't think it has all the 3D stuff. But honestly, if you're a comic person who just draws most of your stuff, you probably won't even need it. So, if you're good with working with what you got, or going low budget with most of your stuff, there's nothing wrong with just rocking those lower end software if you can afford it. Yeah, even MS Paint with it having layers can be used for great stuff. Oh yeah, MS Paint is the classic pixel art. The classic pixel art software. I remember, I guess back in the early 2000s, most pixel artists just use MS Paint overall. And I still swear by it, honestly. There are a few pixel artists who just make stuff that are just specifically emulating Paint's software stuff, because it's just that much simpler overall. And honestly, I agree in some ways, because without bothering with dealing with Photoshop's weird foibles and all the little bloat when it comes to the way Photoshop's created, with it probably like stacking old features that end up redundant. Like I think I think they don't get rid of, I guess, the redundant features, which could be fine for people who are used to those old features. But I guess when it comes to keeping things, I guess, compressed enough can be an issue, because Photoshop has a bunch of legacy bloat in it that takes, it's kind of the reason that Photoshop loads so slowly, is that it just has all that legacy bloat to it. Let's crop this slightly more, because this is again a compilation of 3 different sketchbook pages. But honestly, this is pretty good. This is a good, these are a bunch of owl studies. These are mini studies overall. And I'm mostly just going off of pictures of owls and doing my best kind of just go off of this. Yeah. But yeah, that should be good. I do want to get more owls drawn, but I think I'll let go of this batch for now. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of one of my, I guess, workflow processes, where if I want to draw an animal character that I don't draw that often, I will, try to find more ref images of them, so I can figure out what are some good ideas for character designs. I keep spelling studies. I'll just say 01. And this is my humongous save thing. And now I will save for web and devices. I will put that down to a manageable 1280 wide. Yeah, usually I will shrink a image on its wide axis and leave the tight axis alone, because most things can scroll. Phones can scroll, computers can scroll, and I mostly just work with that. Get rid of transparency, because it's not transparent, it's white overall. I do that, put web, and then when I just post it online, either on my website or on socials, it should be good. I think I don't remember posting these studies specifically online. I probably could post on Blue Sky. I'll post it later. But yeah, I think I'm about ready to just get started tackling a few things with this. So I should probably recap what I've been up to with Blackmask's new enemy. So basically, I am working on some new owl enemies right now for my indie game Blackmask. It's a faux Game Boy game where you're a raccoon treasure hunter trying to find cool relics for his shop, and he ends up getting in trouble with a whole bunch of different animal factions and enemies, and trying to make his way through this world. So these are a few enemies who will be in the general demo area of Blackmask. So I kind of have some really sloppy blocking pixel art to kind of just have this, so I can send this to my program to test some little things. These are my newer things, having some damage animations, down animations, some basic flight animations, a little dive, flying low, diving with the claw, grabbing stuff up, and then some really sloppy stuff with a little sword, having owl wars and things like that. This is more than Owls of Ga'Hoole and stuff like that, which is Zack Snyder's only good movie. And even then, he probably didn't direct it. He probably just had a shitload of animators just on his beck and call. And one really creative one that I want to tackle is this sword spin, where he can spin his body while his head stays in place. So I want to tackle that one more time. Yeah, I'll show up a little later. But yeah, I'm trying to just get some ideas down with this large animation map of what I want to do, or at least the number of actions I want to do with this owl character. And kind of just figure out some cool ideas of what I do. A little dive attack where I guess swoop at Cole. It's able to grab Cole. And do like a little Zuna drop here. Like a little falling pile driver. So that's a rough idea of what I want to do with the sprites overall. And I've had some rough designs. This was more of the owl bear design. Kind of more teddy bear stuff. I've had some other designs where the owl bear is more larger, like more of a half grizzly, half owl character. And I've also got some older sketches of owl designs. I like this. I think I'll keep this around. I think this is a burrowing owl. I haven't specified what this character looks like. And some cooler ideas of the owl with the sword, able to kind of just perch on the sword that's embedded in the tree. That looks rad. And I think this one was another older owl drawing that drew a long time ago. So I guess this is a giant compilation. There's every owl drawing I've ever drawn. So let me just go track down the other owl drawings that I've gotten just so I can work with that. Yeah, sword perching is a cool idea because so a lot of people think about owls in terms of being, symbols of wisdom and things like that. But when you actually look at owls as, the actual animal, they're not very smart. Like you can't really train them. They're not like smart like ravens and crows and things like that. They won't remember your name. But they're absolutely cracked hunters. They're I wouldn't say that they're wise or more cunning. So, again, people would say they're more like sky cats in a way. So yeah, they seem wise, but they're wise in that sense of like they can figure out a million ways to kill you sort of way. But yeah, is this the largest one I got? Fancy owl sketches. I had a larger version of one of these. 1 second. Let's see, fancy. But yeah, I am really liking this ninja look. So I think I'm gonna be skewing how the enemy is gonna look towards this ninja idea. I probably will get rid of this eye patch just so I can, I guess, genericize the owl a little more so he's not like named exactly. But kind of just have it, maybe if it was an actual named owl, I'll give it an eye patch, but right now I'm kind of just thinking about a general enemy that would be like multiple owls in one thing. Because I think one, I guess, suffering from success problem with my art right now is that every character design I seem to make is just like a potential for a main character. I'm like, that's rad, but not everyone can really like be the most super exceptional design right now. So it's kind of just one of those things where it's like, okay, which design is just gonna look great? And the tough thing about it is that I guess I'm seeking to figure out how I can make an iconic, I guess, enemy character. Like how do you make something distinct yet generic? Like, how can you make something, like, thinking about the design of a Goomba? Oh, the ads are running. So yeah, if you want to subscribe to me, you can dodge these ads by subscribing. I don't know what the heck this subscribe's gonna do, but you know, if you want to see more stuff from me, I do, you know, subscribe to Twitch. I don't know what I can really say, actually. I think the settings are for 1 minute, so it will vanish for an hour. You know what? I'll take a break 1 second. I will be right back. And I return. Yep, having a nice be right back video. I actually need to find it. I actually need to figure out a spot to indicate when the ads are playing on Twitch, because I actually don't have any of my browsers open right now. But usually I will set a timer to kind of just tell myself, you know, when something is, you know, when I need to take a break and stuff like that. So, as I was saying about a lot of these owl designs, yeah, I'm trying to figure out some cool ways to make the owl iconic while not like making it just overstep everything. Like, how can I make a good design that's like a Goomba or a Stormtrooper, where you can see one of them and know, okay, it's from Mario or it's from Star Wars, but they're there as like multiples overall. That's basically what I'm trying to do. Oh yeah, image editing. Yeah, I was image editing 6:45. Okay. And yeah, this is also another owl enemy. Actually, this wasn't a new owl enemy. I kind of just had this in my archives overall. I just dug this up because it was one of the many previous owl sketches I did in my life. So I think this was from 2009, this sketch. And the glasses are a nice touch. Yeah, glasses are a pretty nice touch. I like the ginormous scarf. I think I was like definitely influenced by Harry Potter and this stuff, so yeah, it kind of like makes sense. Giant wings. Yeah, I think back then I wasn't thinking too hard about how wings worked. Though in terms of stylization, it looks sharp. It's not bad, it's just it's not my current style these days. Also, I am pretty surprised at how clean my new art is. I always keep worrying that my pencil sketching is getting just more and more messy because I just end up just scribbling more often. But I guess in comparison to 10 years ago, I've gotten much cleaner. So I guess it goes to show that you should only compare yourself, because otherwise you end up comparing your work to other people and not noticing your own improvements. Right, got a sword. So yeah, I think right now we do need to get some down animations right now just to get things rolling here. Yeah, it's a little generic, but I'm gonna let Adam work with these. Okay. Come on. So yeah, my primary pixel art program is Sprite, and usually with Sprite I make my miracles happen. If I can figure out why the heck I can't draw right now. Yeah. Is it because Photoshop's open? Do you actually work? Okay. My tablet does work. You probably just close you. I don't know why you're just on crop, but I need you to be in pencil, please. Is everything locked? It should be locked. Okay, like why? Kind of just one of those just weird mysteries. I have to look at the VOD to figure out what happened. Okay, so right now I am trying my best to not get too bogged down by insane stuff. So going to make a more interesting, or at least expressive damage animation. Probably something like this. So the player knows exactly, hey, if you hit him with the sword, it reacts. And the owl's hurt. And now you can hit the owl for massive damage. And then once I finish all this, I can essentially, you know, draw the rest of the fucking owl. I remember that was a common, I guess, dunk on art tutorials all the time. And I get the sentiment, draw the rest of the fucking owl. But it's kind of one of those things where you kind of gotta realize a lot of art tutorials are kind of expecting you to have a basic art knowledge most of the time. A lot of the art tutorials online are mostly quick tips, assuming that you're already a artist making art who just needs a extra little bit of I guess extra tiny like shortcut, even though there's not really shortcuts in art. But that's kind of the point of the whole, I guess, the drawing the rest of the fucking owl is, you know, here's the tip, but then you're doing the rest of the tutorial with the general art knowledge that you have right now. So for anyone who doesn't know what draw the rest of the owl means, there's this I guess really old I guess art tutorial where it will talk about how to draw an owl, and basically it'll start like a thing where you'll draw the basic core circle shapes, and at the start you'll have the construction shapes of all this stuff, but then the next step is you actually will need to render and sketch the rest of the details on the owl, essentially drawing the rest of the fucking owl. And it's kind of a satire on you know, bunches of art tutorials that are unclear and things like that. Of course, obviously a lot of this stuff is not one-to-one with that. though. I think a lot of people tend to take that meme a little too literally sometimes. And so people will be like, oh, yeah, do some, do actual difficult stuff with art and stuff like that. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I mean, it's not like, I repeated this. I'll let that go. Okay, takes damage down. Now, sadly, must be heading out. Hope you have a good night and day. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for following me. I'll be working on this for the next hour or so, or at least until 9 p.m. I believe. Well, actually, I'm gonna be tackling this for a shorter time than working on a commission that I got recently. Okay, I need to not be polishing so much because this is supposed to be a fast block and draw. So got you down. It's flying. Dive. Oh yeah, I know what I need to do actually. So part one, nudge you. So you're here. Yeah, then hope then all will work out. You got this. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes you'll fall into this giant loop of self-doubt. And yes, you gotta remember that there are people rooting for you, even if you think you're completely alone and all that. You still got people ready to see your next cool work. And it can be easy to fall into that despair when you're drawing alone and you're kind of just at your drawing desk because there's nowhere else you can be in order to make that art dream come true overall. And it can totally suck when you're kind of being online and the only feedback you're getting online is just likes on the internet, or maybe the scant few comments saying good job or nice or cool. And it's kind of just one word comments that are kind of fluff overall, because the average person is not really going to go through the elaborate lighting lecture and wax poetic about how well you figured out the 3-point lighting on your fox titty drawing. That's kind of like, that's the little feedback you can really scrape in. And it's one of those things where any word, even if it's a shitty comment, is still something. And it can be easy to feel like you're kind of just in this sadness bubble of just you're creating stuff and you never even know if you're doing it right, and you just end up ruminating on whether you're doing everything wrong because no one's really telling you, hey, you're doing fine, bro. And I was feeling that with my writing today, where I was kind of like in the process of just editing a script, and this should be called Fall, maybe Sky Death. I'll just go with that right now. Yeah, work with that. Probably yeah, work with this and that'll work. Okay, I think I know how I could tackle this. How you fall down here. Yeah, have a bird like this. Okay, I guess I'm getting back into a groove right now. But yes, I lost my train of thought when it comes to, I suppose, feeling completely alone with the drawing stuff. I suppose the end of this entire gist is that obviously having an art community is going to help you not feel like a crazy person when it comes to creating art. Oh, that's what I did wrong. And feeling that your art means something, because it does. As much as you keep telling yourself that this ain't really gonna mean shit to anyone, if it's gonna mean something to someone, no one really walks around the world with completely no meaning out there, because otherwise it's impossible to really just wake up out of bed. And I want to be like that type to be like, let everything's hunky-dory, sunshine and roses, baby. But you do need to acknowledge that not everything is complete doom and gloom either. Like, you gotta overall just get realistic about, you know, what you're actually doing as an artist and what you're not doing as an artist. If you don't practice, and you know you don't practice, obviously you should practice more, and you'll get better as an artist. And if you know that, you'll know that you don't have to worry about things like, you don't have to worry about, like, your technical skills. But in terms of messaging skills, is my art good for the public, or is my message saying what I want to say? Well, that's kind of a you thing, because you're the only one who can really talk about what interests you as a person. Like, I'm not. You can say a whole bunch of stuff about your personal message or your personal philosophy and things like that, but I myself, and honestly no tutorial can really teach you how to have personal values in your work, or how to find out what you want out of your own artwork. You gotta figure that stuff out on your own with that stuff. And of course, you can probably go through a giant rigmarole of being worried about either being critiqued or having some imaginary turbo nerd nitpick your shit. But it's like, well, I wouldn't just say, just suck it up. That's what life is. But I will say that it's not as terrible as you want to assume. Not everyone is out to get you, really. And those who are out to get you are kind of sad bastards who don't give a shit about anything, and are just being a negative asshole just to be a negative asshole. I actually realized that I was kind of being a negative asshole today on Blue Sky when I kind of like made this really dumb snide comment about like there was this comparison about like someone seeing two types of people who read comics, and one type of person reads comics and they're like, okay, why doesn't this comic work for me? What doesn't work? What doesn't, you know, the analyzer, versus someone who's like, oh, this comic's really popular and I don't think it's popular. Well, I don't like it. Well, it's probably not for me. And that's kind of the end or be all for that. So I was kind of like making a real snide remark about saying, oh, which comic's the one where it kind of just you know, convinces you that this comic's so good you want to quit. And obviously that's kind of a shit heel thing to say. So, you know, I guess the poster didn't want to entertain that stuff. And honestly, I mean, good on them. They didn't want me mucking up the good vibes overall. So, I mean, I totally get that. And yeah, admittedly, that was dickish of me. And yeah, it is true that I've kind of just been trying to, you know, whenever you're trying to be funny and you end up being mean, a lot of that comes from just a place of insecurity and jealousy and things like that, and kind of feel as though they could delete you. Uh-oh. Okay, good. Head's here, and then I get rid of the head, put the neck there. Could I? Because I think if I could probably do some fun things where the owl's body rotates and the head stays still. That would be a fun way to tackle this design. It's like the head stays as the owl, but unlink. Then you flip horizontal. And we'll just add another thing. If they actually make a real Goonies 2 movie, it'd be bananas if they actually put a mermaid in the Goonies 2. They probably wouldn't, but it would be such an insane deep pull. I'm sure they probably wouldn't for, you know, you don't want to be, you know, that one guy just referencing the meme, but I don't really think it's a meme. Oh, maybe it's a reference overall to the video game, so maybe that'd probably just be the problem. I don't know. I guess I'm not really thinking about the actual story of terms of, okay, the kids are in the future. What have they been doing with their lives overall? You know, doing stuff like that. So I can probably understand why they wouldn't shoot for putting a goddamn mermaid plot in a new Goonies movie. But I think it'd be cool. Yeah. Uh-oh. I should play that game. I've been listening to its music for so long, but I've never actually took the time to play the Goonies and see if it's actually a good game or not. I'll just leave this as a blob leg. Yeah, leave that as a blob leg. Yeah, it looks like a little chicken. That's pretty fun. And then unlink you. Make you horizontal. Doesn't look like it's rotating. Boom. I think I know what I can do. Yeah, didn't, what's his name? Tim Crane? No, I forget his name. One of the, Atari developers who developed the original Adventure. I think he developed, Boy and the Blob. I need to look that up. You know what? Sod it, I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, just sod it. Wikipedia. Oh yeah, I forgot about the remake on the Wii. There's a remake on the Wii. Absolute Entertainment. Yeah, David Crane designed this. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like everything I see from that game is very directly from Pitfall 3. Honestly, I feel like A Boy in the Fob is basically just Pitfall 3. Up. Boom. Up. Alright. Maybe one more here. Unlink. Control horizontal. Should be a smoother rotation. Okay. I think you'll be the center rotation. Unlink. Flip this horizontal. Instead, it's probably not working, but it might work. If I put on 2s, it'll be a cleaner animation. You know what? How about I try an alternative? And a new layer, so I don't completely destroy this layer. But instead, try something like this. Where its wings are just out. Its wings are out like this. Inside it, we're gonna keep this basic body mass here. Keep the body mass here. But make the wing float like this. No wonder. I could probably use this. Flip horizontal. Nudge you back here. Unlink. Yeah, I could probably just get rid of this. Okay, this is looking good. I like how this is going. Though it does go like uneven overall. It does look more dynamic. That's kind of the rub. Do I make it look even to give it more of a like a more symmetrical thing? Do something like this. Copy V. Yeah, what's the actual? Nah. Yeah, because now it's even enough. Yeah, shouldn't be polishing so much since I got the basic idea. It's a little too wide. It doesn't really read that the head's staying the same while the body is falling. Maybe the head needs to just stick out more. I know I can't just dump this now. I could probably just dump these frames too. Yeah, I could probably okay. Could I reuse this head? Okay. Okay. Yeah, doing like a weird star pattern would work. I could probably do something where doing a scream. Huh. Looks more like it has pinchers and a beak, really. Let you go here, put you there. Oh, looks more like a cardinal more. Yeah, it's kind of working, but I think I'm spending too much time trying to refine this instead of just working off of what I got. Right now, this is supposed to be a damage animation, so I just need to stick with this for now. Okay. We got search, head turn, walk. I could refine the walk a little better. Like I could probably Ah, damn it. Hey guys, want to play a driving game with tank controls? Here you go, RC Pro-Am, baby. I've played RC Pro-Am like a few times, but I feel like I've also played rock and roll racing a lot more often. I think I also played RC Pro-Am on the Game Boy too. Yeah, Castlevania 2 is an easier game to play than most people let on. Like, I feel like it's mostly just people parodying James Rolfe's opinions on the Castlevania 2, which he basically took back because he made a remade retrospective on Castlevania 2. It still totally worked. it's shifting. Okay, let's I didn't want to play Castlevania 2 just so I can see it. I have the Castlevania collection on Switch. It's just I never get around to playing the damn games. I did remember I was playing through Castlevania 3 when the Netflix series was rolling right now. It's pretty alright. Kind of fell off literally right after they killed Dracula. It's kind of like, yeah, but I wish you'd freaking get to the rest of the thing. Because it's taking, I don't know, I'm not gigantic about the Netflix Castlevania that much. You're right. Maybe a slight... Maybe a slight walk back. I remember like trying to find a surf rock variant of this song, but I haven't been able to find anything that suited what I was looking for Monster Dance. Like a surf rock variant of Monster Dance would rule. Okay, that's good. A little bobbing animation. Yeah, you could hop or something. I don't think owls really hop, but they kind of just always kind of like, no. Oh hey, Shy streaming. Hey yo, welcome to the Matt's Friend Art stream, everyone. I'm kind of just doing some extra little bits of just blocking some new stuff here. Kind of just working on some Game Boy sprites right now for my indie game. And my mic should be working way better than how it's been since the last time you've seen me stream. But yeah, I've kind of been adding some new states or like new actions for the character, so you know, be reacting to stuff, taking damage, falling down. It can fly, and then it can fall out the sky. Though the animation's kind of not as good as I'd like for it to be. You know what? Yeah, this is bothering the hell out of me. You know what? New layer. New layer. New layer, we move this up. And we're actually going to copy this. Because what I want is to have more of a head-on collision. So I want that owl to be able to fall out the sky. So, now you've been working on some animations yourself. It's been a while. Yeah, making knockback animations in 4 directions so the enemies can get knocked around to and fro. Oh yeah, doing a bunch of, I guess, context-specific animations can pad out the workload a bit. But it does, I guess this is me kind of like feeling optimistic, being like, yeah, this totally helps. It makes it feel more immersive and add verisimilitude and more circle jerky stuff. But it's like, yeah, it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's still extra work you gotta tackle. But, you know, it's good to just add those little context stuff, because it does add a bit of feedback too. Oh, you had a long-standing issue where if you strike an enemy in the back, it would fall back towards. Oh yeah, that would make sense, because if you just had an enemy that was just falling towards you, that would probably lead to some I guess motion issues. Well, not motion issues, but like you wouldn't be able to shove an enemy forward, or you probably would encounter bugs where if an enemy falls towards a player, they could possibly get stuck someplace. So I could totally get that. Okay. All right. Your combo gets messed up because it turns into an accidental taunt. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's one thing with trying to set up enemies to, I guess, move or get shoved around. I remember that was kind of a slight issue when it came to playing Zelda 1, is if you hit an enemy and they like fell too far away, or they fell away, it would be tougher to catch up to them because they'd recover, and then they could either run away because their movement was set up to be more erratic than modern Zelda games, or you would just end up missing sword swings sometimes. Of course, if they're able to fall towards you as well, that's also a pain in the butt. I think, not Hide Like, there was a different, there was a 2D NES game. Like, it was one of the more stinkier ones. But that exact stuff totally happened where... Wait, no, that's not actually what happened, because it's more they don't take hit stun. Like, they'll blink, but they won't stop moving. They'll just keep moving. So even if you hit them, they can still just walk right through you and still damage you. I remember that was a ginormously awful thing in arcade games as well. Arcade beat-ups, like, well, not like Bad Dudes, but just games like Bad Dudes, where it's a beat-em-up game, but still a platformer. Alright, unlink. And what I'm gonna do, get rid of this, get rid of symmetry, because what I want to do right now is make it so this sort of flattens out. And I keep trapping myself in this refined trap where these are supposed to be basically gray box sprites, so I could hand to my programmer. They look jank, but they're supposed to be testing sprites for seeing if some functions will actually work. Because basically, I'm trying a new, I guess, workflow method where I don't polish my sprites initially. I wait until it's actually incorporated in it, see what's working, what's too bugged out, and things like that. And then once it's actually, implemented and working, I take more time to kind of refine it, or at least have these sprites out there for Adam, or at least my programmer, where he will just have the new enemy and he can, fiddle with the programming stuff while he waits for me to actually polish the enemy design and things like that. So that's one thing that I'm trying to experiment with, to, add some more stuff and not have Adam be waiting for me, even though he doesn't. Like, he keeps telling me that I don't have to be doing this. We have so much stuff. Like, currently we're just working on, or at least he's working on menu stuff. Plus, he's in the process of making new music things. And Adam, my programmer, is the, I guess, the primary musician of this team at the moment, because he's, he wants to take a dabble at the music right now. So that's why anyone who wants to do the music, I've been, I guess, not going back to them exactly, because essentially, my programmer's planning to be the musician if he's up for that workflow. Yeah, programmers who are musicians exhibit C. Yeah, I think well, actually, no. I mean, programmers who are musicians are also going to be good with planning the audio design as well, so that's going to be pretty helpful. So I'm pretty optimistic of what he's doing. Plus, he's been doing some, he's had a band. He's been in a band before doing a lot of this stuff. So at least he's experienced playing instruments. So You know, I'm kind of just going off of like his music experience plus his you know, his interpretation of what we need in terms of doing that stuff. He's never done chiptune before, so he's kind of like figuring that stuff out overall. But if composing is anything like, I guess, drawing, the core fundamentals of it would the core fundamentals of composing shouldn't be too out there, right? It reminded of the game series that had in-house bands, Konami, Looking Glass, later become Harmonix. Yeah. A lot of those old like retro developers, you know, they ended up wearing many different hats in order to fill in the different job needs and stuff like that. I was at a panel with David Crane, and he talks a lot about essentially they had no testers. They were testing the games themselves, and because they were testing the games themselves, they ended up getting better and better at the games as, you know, they programmed it. So they ended up basically making the games inadvertently harder because the programmers were getting better and better at them. Okay, maybe if I add like a little belly, that'll work. Yeah, you get tunnel vision that way. Yeah, exactly. You get too good at your game, and then when players actually get their hands on it, they're like, oh wow, this shit's too hard. But I think there's a kind of pride to that. I remember hearing that the way Treasure Games does their stuff, like the developers of Gunstar Heroes, the way they do their, I guess, employment is you have to have been able to beat one of their games before they can consider you. And I'm like, you know what? That's pretty legit. Like, if you can beat Gunstar Heroes or Radiant Silvergun or what's it, Alien Soldier, they'll hire you. That's pretty rad. And honestly, it does indicate that you at least are familiar with their library of games, so that makes sense. All right, that's a little clearer. Okay, add like a little tum here. Yeah. Oh. I feel like the head should like look more like it's on a scene, kinda like rework the head. Yeah, make it look like it's more like this. Maybe that'll work. I'm slightly cooking. This is kind of working right now. I'm making something work with this. Just needs a bit more stuff. Alright, back to the wings. Right. Add some lines that indicate wing. Yeah, even worse when players don't understand how the game works or what they're supposed to be doing on a moment-to-moment basis. Yeah, exactly. That's also true. I'd say that's also true with writing as well. Well, not just writing, but just anything. Yeah, you only make something that only makes sense to a designer. Yeah, exactly. And that's also been a problem with adventure games, like the point-and-click adventures, because a lot of those early point-and-click adventures were built to try and outsmart, you know, their programmer friends, and their friends who like making puzzles, and not necessarily other people who, I suppose, need to go through the adventure and overall. So you have a bunch of puzzles that just end up requiring moon logic or an obscure knowledge in specific like programmer principles or specific physics, like specific physics lines and things like that. Yeah, old point and clicks were deliberately obtuse, and then you call the 809. Oh yeah, you just get extra money, so there were perverse incentives there. Actually, that's genius. That's diabolical now that you mention that. Yeah, that's actually legit diabolical. Old games were just harder, so it would make you just pay more money. It's kind of funny because these days, even with the internet, no one really do that, because one, they would probably like write a game fact, or it would someone else would figure out the secret or the solution to that puzzle and just write it in a walkthrough or something like that. Or someone would either like probably like mod the game so it's easier, or actually have those guides and things like that. Yeah, the game guides were the last of those. Yeah, exactly, strategy guides and all that stuff. Because it's like, a lot of people say, oh, those strategy guides had really cool art in it, and that is true. Those old strategy guides were pretty good, but essentially a lot of those strategy guides were just made because they want to just get you lost and get you to buy the game map, because they didn't put an in-game map in it, because they both didn't have the resources to put an in-game map and also to get you to buy the freaking strategy guide. So kind of just one of those things. I guess it's a chicken and egg sort of thing, where you don't know if they just flat out didn't have the resources to put a map in the game, or they just wanted you to just wander lost so you wouldn't return the game when it's rented. I remember that was the reason why Echo the Dolphin is so hard, is because I guess the dev was like, hey, people will rent that game. I don't want them to just return the game or beat the game so fast and return it. So that's kind of the reason why Echo the Dolphin is just so hard. And maybe just other games are just so unreasonably hard. Because yeah, like Dark Souls is difficult, but it's the type of difficulty that you can't really, I guess you can't really find the solution to. You only can really brute force your way through it. You can only learn the pattern or not get through the game. I mean, there are some puzzles with Dark Souls where you would need to know some obscure piece of knowledge or something like that, right? Yeah, Dark Souls has a lot of knowledge checks and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your first playthrough is 80 hours and the next one is 30. Yeah, exactly, like those retro games. You're seeing a lot of you see a lot of speed runs, and they're able to just get through those in minutes, and you end up like seeing people able to speed run games that normally it would take you nearly an hour to get through, and it would be it would just be it wouldn't be mind-blowing, but it's one of those things where you work so hard and realize, wow, you totally suck at doing this. That's not that it doesn't suck, it's just the game was deliberately designed to just make it impossible to play. Okay. Kind of sort of works. Yeah. Do some body or male just the lip. Oh. That's not it. Unlink. T, flip. Hori. Unflip. Yeah, I can't modify the same sprite. I don't know what the heck that message was. I think I'd like copied that. Okay. Let's get rid of the onion skin. It still doesn't look like it's rotating really. I don't have the wing details on this. Okay. Oh, I think I know what's up. Back, side, front, side. This doesn't really look as much as rotating. Yeah, like a little forced perspective, perhaps. Okay, maybe this is just flat out not working. Maybe I do need more frames to indicate that it's actually rotating. Yep. Let me go look something up real fast. Let's look up the duck hunt duck. Because like Duck Hunt's, Duck Hunt had, ducks where if you shot them, they would tumble out the ground. So I'm gonna see how they animated that. So onward to Spriter's resource. Right, we're going on a search. Okay. Yeah, I want the WarioWare version. Yeah, we'll go off of this. Alright, so it's possible that they just use the it just flipped the sprite. Yeah, let me get a folder real fast. Oh, damn it. Alright. Let's pop you open. Because if I'm right, X, new layer. Oh. How do you make new? Oh, it's Alt N. Such an idiot. I'm doing Control N, not Alt N. Alright, flip horizontal. This is close to how it was. Kinda, sorta. Let me see if I can't do some like onion skin magic. I just get you looking like this. How it looking? Well, it looks almost 1-to-1. Constant frame rate, put at like maybe down to 15 FPS. I know it said 66, but that's in milliseconds, not FPS, because a sprite is not very fun. So yeah, I think it just flipped it like that. So I think I might need to just rotate the head. But you know what? I'll figure that out after my break, or better yet, I'm just gonna stop for now to get to my commission. So I think I'm just gonna let go of this owl for now, take a break, and get to my commission. Be right back. Hello again, and I return. Yeah, it took a little bit too long because I found out from my mom that my downstairs toilet flooded, and I didn't even realize it. The back, not the actual toilet bowl, but the actual, I guess, back mechanism where the water like floods the toilet, that didn't reseal the inside of the toilet, and it didn't, I guess I didn't jiggle the flusher enough to make the toilet stop refilling the water, and ended up like filling the water too much and flooding the floor, and I didn't even notice that. Luckily it was able to be mopped up, and my mom managed to get home in time. But I never even realized it because I was streaming, because I used the bathroom right before I streamed. Yeah, well, it's one of those things. Luckily, nothing too horrible happened. I guess it's one of those things where I'm just trying to get over myself. Anyway, I need to get to work on this commission that I've gotten recently. So this is a avatar commission here, a basic character commission where I'm drawing a someone's OC or Sona, and it's a nice basic blink. Then they eat a cookie, and I'll probably set up so it just eats the entire cookie, then closes the cookie and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I'm nearly done with this. It just needs a bit more polishing. Like, I'd say this requires some more refinement here. Like, I could change the ears to something better. And yeah, I think this requires just a whole new set of animations with this, so gotta be working on that. So let's get set up. Yeah. I should probably discuss, I guess, my comic news overall, or at least the commission news. So, I plan to be reopening commissions around either like Thursday night or Friday morning and something like that. And, this is basically, one of my friends pre-ordering a commission. It's kind of like, you know what? He literally messaged me saying, hey, you taking commissions? And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I am. And I wasn't really fretting too much about when I'm taking commission. I was just doing it. So that's basically just why I am reopening commissions very soon. And I did need to do that anyway, so. Could nudge you some more. Okay, here's gonna be here. See if I can't rework these ears. So can I flip you horizontal maybe? Yes, no. Save me any drawing perhaps, methinks? Yeah. Maybe. Just a smidge. Perhaps so. Save me some drawing time maybe perhaps. Yeah, it's a possibility. But yeah, kind of just tackling some this super basic just drawing. Yeah, just nudging down a basic draw setup. I do need to figure out a way to kind of like draw cleaner so I can get a thing done. I don't know. Yeah, my animation process is pretty straightforward overall, so don't really have anything significantly different I need to do. I also lost my train of thought when it came to commission stuff, but honestly it's the same thing. I'm going to be opening commissions around Friday. I'll just say Friday just to be safe, because we're just gonna have them open just all Friday. Gonna have 4 slots open just to start, and then whoever takes more, I'll see if I can take more, because it's not, I don't think it'll distract from working on Blackmask too much, because a lot of stuff, I think the owl stuff's just gonna be on stream. I think I've set up a decent workflow where I'll work for an hour on this, and then I'll work for an hour on some hair stuff, so. That's body character. Alright, probably need to nudge you a little bit more. Get more like excited foxy ear. This character's a fox. She looks much more dog-like than I've drawn it, so, or drawn her specifically. So it's kind of just one of those things where kind of just gotta get that down. Yeah, don't polish, just get this character just down. All right, you're up. So unlink. Oh, I can mass unlink. That's cool. Okay, I think I know what I need to do right now. Because this body and the head need to be separate too, which is a whole host of issues I got tackled, but I'm gonna tackle them. So let's get to that. I can probably detach the body easier than I can detach the head, so that's one thing that I guess one big thing that kind of slows down my animation process is I don't plan these animations as much as I need to in order to not get bogged down by new tasks I gotta do. So I end up doing things like polishing parts of a character animation before knowing what exact things are going to be moving in the animation or actually beginning the animation. And it's literally because I am rushing through most of these commissions. I don't like having my commissioner wait too long for their stuff. And I can admit that half this problem is me. I don't set myself up to just... I don't set myself up to not take in... I'll set myself up to not accept breaks or non-research related just artwork stuff. I don't take enough time to really assess the type of art that needs to be done or do any research or do studies for a lot of my notable projects. To literally try to just figure out how do I go ASAP, go, oh yada yada yada. So that can definitely be an issue overall. I'm just not as good as I'd like to be when it comes to unlock head. Alright. Body. Head. Yeah, it's currently approaching 9. But, you know, it's me feeling a little tired from just doing stuff. Because overall, that's kind of just how these nights go. I do a lot of drawing and I play a lot of music, and you kind of just listen, and occasionally I'll ramble about stuff that might be on my mind, but usually nothing's on my mind. Usually I just want to get to work on the stuff, get it done ASAP. That should be more than enough. The head will be here. Bada boom. Looks almost like Sans Undertale. Okay. You probably look at this head. Obviously, I'd need to thin out the muzzle a bit more, but basically, I've got a nice rough idea of how I'm gonna tackle this. Yeah, thin you out. Yeah. Nice and easy. Just a pink. Nice and easy. Yeah, like some fangs here. Okay. I should probably, do I have any box mouths that are open? Let's see, is it in my refs? Probably do have some refs here. Let's go reference hunting. Oh. Okay. Yeah, just diving into my reference picks. They're more organized, so I'll kind of like move these as they go. Yeah, I was playing a tiny bit of Xanadu, but I kind of just fell off. Still need to play that game because I feel like there is an interesting game there. I just need to actually play the damn game. But I think that's with a majority of the games I kind of just have that I take a passing interest to, but I never sit down to play the stupid thing. Where the hell is it? Got it. Let's just cut and get to just, you know, I'm not gonna reorganize, I'm just gonna drop this in. Alright. There's refs. Jawline. Things are surprisingly a thing that I don't take enough time to learn to draw. Not enough teeth I need. Yeah, first comes a shovel, look for what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's solid. At first comes a shovel, just block it in. Sort of works, but isn't working. Yeah, I'll get back to this. Yeah, feel like it's bedtime. I'll go for another minute. Yeah, 30 minutes. That should be more than enough to kind of just get a basic thing down. That should be more than enough. Yeah, it's plenty. Oh yeah, I also never talked about my time at Anime Central. So, I walked Anime Central last weekend and I never really... I guess it just wasn't as big of a deal for me because Anime Central was pretty just A-okay. Can't really say too much about the event other than, you know, I met up with my friends, said hi, and, you know, got 10-0'd by a child in Guilty Gear because I know fuck all about Guilty Gear. So it is what it is with that. I mean, that's sort of my fault for trying to learn a fighting game in public. Because kind of like, you got a bunch of like, you know, actual fighting game people being like, yo, dude, you want to like do a match? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm just dabbling in this tutorial and not knowing that it's shit. And of course, I get completely washed all those times. And I'm trying not to just take that personally, because I think the one thing that kind of just put me off of doing fighting games is not feeling like the losses are a personal thing. Because it's unreasonable to assume that just because, you know, it's unreasonable to assume that you'll be immediately good when you get started. But it's like you're learning a video game that most video games are usually easier to pick up and play. Meanwhile, fighting games aren't as easy to pick up and play in comparison. So it can be daunting to really just get into them. So it's one of those things where I have a passing interest in it. I played Potemkin, and I was trying to learn how to play that character because I like his look. And you know how people are like, hey, pick a fight character who you really like the look of, and you'll at least want to learn how to play the game. So I did exactly that. I like the aesthetic of grapplers. Usually I will skew towards the big dumb guy, and I want to learn that character overall. But yeah, it wasn't a as given as I'd like for it to be. So it is what it is with that. But I mean, if there's a summer sale, I might get like Guilty Gear. Don't expect me to do any matches on stream because I still fucking suck at this game. And I am pretty confident I'm never gonna get good at Guilty Gear or maybe any other fighting game because, you know, it's not exactly my forte overall. I'm never going to, I guess, learn the deep mechanics. And honestly, you don't have to know the deep mechanics to, you know, get into these games. It's just literally, you know, if you're able to get through the controls, you can learn fighting games pretty quick. Sada, I need the onion skin. Motherfucker. Oh, yeah. Okay. Got a rough blocking. Shit's blocking in, bro. Yeah. I want to sleep. Just a few more minutes of just getting this down. I'll just call this a night because I think I've got plenty in comparison, you know. And of course, put like a little tongue there. Yeah. Yeah, this will work. Yeah, this will work. Have a slow mouth open. And have this one be a smaller jaw and hinge. All right, how we looking? Yeah. I got this. Yeah, let's yeah, we're just gonna delete these frames. Yes, delete the frames, just start from scratch. Nearly got this. Okay. Probably do a flatter, maybe like a wider mouth. Oh, I know the problem. Yeah, I know the problem. And selected. No problemo. Okay. Okay, that's not the entire head. Yeah, by the time it hits 9, by the time it hits 9 at night, I just feel completely incoherent. I just want to go to sleep. Yeah. Body. Okay. This ain't gonna be there. Let's see. All right. This needs to go down a wee bit longer. Also, since this isn't squish, it's gonna be here. Yeah, I feel like I could probably just rock this. Oh yeah, because she does need to eat the cookie multiple times though. Let's do a fast block in. Motherfucker. Uh, okay, I need to move this forward. Right. Yeah, work with the gap a little. Follow its coat. How are we looking now? Now it's looking much more seamless, eh? Alright. I think I've did as much as I could with this. Doing alright. It just needs some more refining. Tail could be, ears could be better. But I'm making better progress. Things are a little bit more polished. Sorry for completely checking out, but I guess I'm just in Ultra Instinct now. It is what it is. I'm doing my best with this. And of course, I keep saying, it drives me nuts. But well, I'll deal with this. I think I'm just gonna wrap for now. Tonight, it was, made up for a real shit morning, and I'm happy that you all showed up here to watch me kind of just re-catch my groove. So thank you all for stopping by. I'm streaming again next week, next Wednesday. And now I need to just get some sleep. I will talk to you all next time. Have a good night.